Blessed love, family. Welcome back to Rasta today. Today we're stepping into one of the deepest spiritual traditions within Rastafari culture, a tradition rooted in Africa, carried through generations, and kept alive through rhythm, prayer, and unity. We're exploring 7 powerful things you probably didn't know about Nyabinghi. Now, this isn't the surface level talk you might hear anywhere else. We're going deeper into the origins, the sacred meanings, and the spiritual fire that Nyabinghi brings to Rastafari. And make sure you stay until the end, because the 7th thing may completely shift the way you see the entire movement. Before we begin, imagine this for a moment. Imagine you're sitting under the night sky. A ceremonial fire is burning low. Drums are pulsing steadily, like the heartbeat of the earth. Voices rise in chants, ancient psalms echoing into the air. People are dressed in white. Some sway, some meditate, some simply close their eyes and breathe. This is Nyabinghi, a gathering, a vibration, a living connection to Africa. But long before Jamaica, long before Rastafari, the name Nyabinghi already existed. And this takes us right into the first thing you may not know about this powerful tradition. Nyabinghi did not start in Jamaica. It began thousands of miles away in East Africa. While most people associate Nyabinghi strictly with Rastafari ceremonies and the beating of hand drums, its origins stretch back into regions like Uganda, Rwanda, and Tanzania. In these areas, Nyabinghi was connected to spiritual resistance movements that fought against colonial oppression. These movements carried a sense of prophetic vision and ancestral guidance. People believed a divine force empowered them to push back against injustice, and they used the name Nyabinghi as a symbol of that unstoppable spiritual energy. By the time the name eventually reached Jamaica, through African memory, oral tradition, and political writings, it had already lived for generations as a symbol of liberation. So, when Rastafari embraced the term, it wasn't invented anew. It was reclaimed, restored, reconnected to its African root. And this leads to the second surprising truth about Nyabinghi, something rarely spoken about. The name Nyabinghi is associated with a legendary African queen whose legacy has inspired countless people. She is often referred to as Queen Nyabinghi, a figure said to have led resistance movements against colonial forces in East Africa. Whether she was one woman or a symbol representing many leaders, her name became a lightning bolt of spiritual and political power. Stories of her influence spread across the region, fueling rebellions and strengthening the belief in divine justice. When Rastafari embraced the name Nyabinghi, they tapped into this same lineage of resistance. The spirit of a warrior queen who stood against oppression became woven into the spiritual identity of the movement. This is why Nyabinghi is not only about drumming or chanting, it's about liberation, empowerment, and the unstoppable force of righteousness. The name itself carries the weight of history. Now, when we talk about Nyabinghi today, one thing stands out immediately: the drumming. If you've ever attended a Nyabinghi celebration, then you know the drums are more than instruments. They feel alive. The rhythm is steady, pulsing, grounding, like something that reaches beyond the physical. That's because Nyabinghi drumming represents the heartbeat of creation. It follows a pattern that mirrors the natural pulse of life. The deep boom of the central drum operates like the earth's heartbeat. The higher drum layers bring movement, spirit, and energy. When these sounds blend together, they create a vibration that many people describe as transformative. Some say the rhythm can shift the atmosphere of a space. Others say it helps quiet the mind and opens the heart. Elders often explain that Nyabinghi drumming isn't designed to entertain, it's designed to heal, to connect, to synchronize the community's heartbeat into one unified pulse. This is why during Nyabinghi ceremonies, the drumming continues for long periods, sometimes hours, sometimes all night. The goal is to create a vibration so strong and so pure that negativity melts away and clarity rises. But Nyabinghi is much more than music, and this brings us into the fourth thing many people don't know. Nyabinghi is a complete spiritual gathering, not a performance. When people attend a Nyabinghi, they are not going to a concert. They are entering a sacred space. There are chants, prayers, reasonings, meditations, ceremonial fires, and moments of silence. People speak, people reflect, people give thanks, and people release. There is no stage, no spotlight, no applause. Nyabinghi is communal. It's a circle, a collective elevation. People gather to purify the mind and spirit, to reaffirm unity, and to connect with the teachings of His Imperial Majesty, Haile Selassie I. The chanting of psalms is a central part of this experience. Some are sung softly, others powerfully, but all are meant to uplift. When the flames of the ceremonial fire rise, they symbolize purification and illumination. When the drums play, they call the energy of the ancestors. When the voices rise together, the entire gathering becomes a living prayer. Now, here's something even deeper that many people don't know. Nyabinghi. Gatherings are connected to sacred dates within Rastafari tradition. This is the fifth thing that may surprise you. Nyabinghi isn't held randomly. While drumming and chanting can happen at any time, formal Nyabinghi celebrations often align with important moments in Rastafari history, such as the coronation of Haile Selassie I, the Ethiopian Christmas, or Groundation Day. These dates are considered spiritually charged. They are times when the energy of the movement rises and the community comes together in greater numbers. When the drums play during these celebrations, it's believed that the vibration is even stronger. The chants become more powerful. The unity becomes more visible. It's a reminder to the world and to the community itself that Rastafari is not just a belief. It is a living, breathing tradition carried forward through sacred observance. Now let's expand on something that most people outside the culture never realize. The sixth thing you didn't know about Nyabinghi is that many well-known reggae rhythms can be traced back to Nyabinghi drumming. When reggae music emerged, it came from layers of earlier Jamaican traditions. But if you listen closely to the heartbeat rhythm, or to the offbeat patterns that define roots reggae, you'll hear echoes of Nyabinghi. Early musicians would sit in Nyabinghi circles, absorb the vibration, and later reinterpret it with guitars, bass lines, and drum kits. Even modern reggae and dub producers sometimes incorporate Nyabinghi samples to give their tracks a deeper ancestral feel. So when reggae spread across the world, so did Nyabinghi. Quietly, rhythmically, spiritually. People dancing to reggae in Africa, the Caribbean, Europe, or the Americas may not realize it, but they're moving to a rhythm shaped by centuries-old African tradition and carried forward through the Rastafari movement. And now we come to the seventh and final truth about Nyabinghi. This is perhaps the deepest of all. The real purpose of Nyabinghi is liberation, internally and externally. Nyabinghi isn't only about resisting colonialism or external oppression. It is also about freeing the mind, freeing the heart, freeing the self from ego, negativity, and confusion. The chants uplift the spirit. The drumming resets the energy. The reasoning sessions bring clarity and guidance. The unity reminds people that they are not alone in their struggles. Over time, the practice becomes a way of life, a discipline, a spiritual cleansing. Elders often say, the fire at a Nyabinghi burns away what no longer serves you. Whether that means fear, stress, frustration, or doubt, The ritual is meant to release it. When you leave a Nyabinghi, you should feel lighter, sharper, more connected, more grounded. It is resistance, yes, but it is also healing. It is spiritual nourishment, a reminder that liberation begins within. Now, when you look at everything we've covered, you can see why Nyabinghi is one of the most sacred and powerful traditions within Rastafari. It carries the spirit of African resistance. It honors a legendary warrior queen. It represents the heartbeat of creation. It unites the community through ritual and prayer. It aligns with sacred dates to elevate spiritual vibration. It influences the music the whole world loves. And it uplifts the soul through liberation, truth, and righteousness. Nyabinghi is not just a ceremony. It's a vibration that travels across generations. Before we close, let's revisit something. Earlier, we imagined sitting under the night sky, with the drums echoing like a heartbeat. Now imagine you're there again, but this time with deeper understanding. You recognize that the rhythm comes from Africa. The chants come from scripture and tradition. The gathering comes from the desire for unity and spiritual clarity. And the fire burning in front of you symbolizes transformation. When the drums rise together, you can feel the vibration moving through your chest. You can feel the ancestors near. You can feel the unity in the circle. You understand why people say Nyabinghi is not performed. It is lived. It is breathed. It is felt. Family, if this video expanded your understanding of Nyabinghi and the spiritual power behind it, let us know in the comments what resonated with you the most. And please like, share, and subscribe to Rasta Today so we can continue bringing you more powerful content about Rastafari culture, African heritage, and spiritual wisdom. Walk good, stay blessed, and keep the vibration strong. One love.